So this week I have about 1 billion coffee stirrers to use up. So I figured I'd make a few doors. I have some 3D printed doors. They're about 1.75 inches tall. I use those as a guide, and I cut out some coffee stirrers to that length, and they're very thin. So I wanted to give the door a little bit more meat. So I glued 2 of them together like a little glue sandwich, and clean off the glue as I go along here, and I just do that for each one of the slats. It's sticky. But there, and I have 4 slats total for this door. I line them up there, and what I need to do next is glue each of the slats together. A little bit of pressure to keep it together, and again cleaning out that glue just with my fingers as I go along. I don't know if this stuff is toxic or not. I mean, Joey in school used to lick this stuff all the time, and he turned out okay. I think he's a lawyer. Now, I got that done, and I thought maybe I would like those doors that have the braces across them. It's doors that you might see on a barn or a very rustic cabin, a tavern at a crossroads. I glued them on one side. You see it there. Did the same thing to the other side. Now I've got a door that's pretty solid, about the same size as the reference door. Now I had these little rings that you use for jewelry. Got a bunch of them over at Michael's for next to nothing. Could probably make 1,000 doors with these things. I had 2 different sizes, and for this door I went with the larger size, 6mm. A little bit of super glue to hold it on there. And I got it on my fingers again. Now back to it, I'm going to repeat the steps I did for the first door, cutting out each one of these using my wife's scissors. You know by now, I'm just going to say they're my scissors. She can't have them back, they're all mine. Honey, if you're listening to me, please don't hurt me. Like I said before, she never hurt me, she loves me. So there we go. I do need to get her a nice pair of scissors, though. I should go out and buy her a nice pair. Back to the gluing. I'm going to glue these together just like I did the first door. Glue sandwich. Trimming it up a little bit as I go. I probably need to sharpen those scissors. And the last one here, we're going to move on to gluing them together here in just a minute. I got out the jeweler's anvil a little too soon. Need to glue these together. Hey, you didn't clean it up there. What's wrong with you, buddy? There you go. Clean it up a little bit. All right. So instead of using wood pieces for the bracing, I decided to use this multi-purpose wire. What I'm going to do is flatten it out and make a metal bracing for the door that wraps around the door. Just a little experiment. We'll see how it goes. This doesn't take terribly long with the jeweler's anvil either. Some pliers just to straighten it out a little bit. A little coffee so you go really fast. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat. And measuring where the bend needs to go here. There we go. That looks good. Bend around the door. There we go. Let's get some dedicated pliers. These old rusted ones will do. Tetanus shot. There you go. Tap it, tap it, tap, tap, tap it. Just tap it in. There we go. A little Happy Gilmore reference. Bend it up there. And just spend a whole lot of time trying to make it fit the size, the length. And let's press it across there. There we go. Nice little brace for your door. Now I'm going to repeat that process and do it again for a second brace that will go at the bottom of the door. Or the top, because at this point it's not really clear what is the top of the door and what is the bottom of the door. So now you're seeing the idea. For the next step, it looks like what I'm going to do is paint it. I'm just using a burnt umber here for the base coat. I'm going to paint my hands a little bit too. Now while we're at it, I go ahead and grab that other door and paint it. If there's one thing I could change here, I probably would have painted the door and then painted the doorknob separately and added it after the fact. But it worked out either way. Now in order to get paint to stick to these metal pieces, these metal bracings, I needed to prime it first. So I used my primer. Little Vallejo primer, gray, and then went back over it with some Vallejo black for that wrought iron look that I like so well. Now just a little bit of a dry brush, and I'm using a suede here. Give it that silvery aged wood door look. Now here I need to put the braces on. That's starting to look pretty good. Seriously, I'm going to fiddle with this all day long. Put it on already, man. There you go. Fiddle with it a little bit more. Okay. And for the last piece, I'm going to take this 4mm ring and I'm going to cut out a tiny little piece for the back plate. It's just a leftover coffee stirrer piece. Yeah, there we go, a little back plate. And then we can put the little ring on top of that. Yeah, about time you got it in focus. Come on, man, step up. This is that black Vallejo paint that I had. I had a little bit left over from the dot that I put on the wet palette and figured I'd use it up here. Now a little bit of super glue to put that on, press it into place, and a little super glue on top of that to put the ring into place. And of course I'm going to use my X-Acto knife so that I can get a bunch of super glue on the tip of my razor. That'll make it cut really well. But it works. Paintbrush a little too big. Go back and find a smaller paintbrush. There you go. Now paint this ring a black. Give it that wrought iron black look. That's all I have for this week. Next week, we're going to tackle, I think, crystal caves. And that concludes another episode of Tabletop That. Feel free to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, feel free to hit that thumbs down button. Leave comments below and hit that subscribe button if you're so inclined. And until next time, have fun and keep crafting.